Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
All right, welcome back to the show, and do we have an incredible show for you today? I have a tremendous guest for you today, Mrs. Erika Bourne. She is the CEO and inspirational officer, I might add, of MXZen, MXZen.com. Erika, I am so thrilled for you to be on the show today. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I'm honored.
Fantastic. Well, let's just get right into this. People are scratching their head going, MXZen, what is MXZen? Tell us a little bit about what it is that you do and who you serve, and give us a little thumbnail sketch of your company.
All right. MXZen is a company that is focused on promoting and supporting youth motocross, the future of motocross. And we're not really just geared towards amateurs, but or the youth, but that's really my passion. And it's actually where it all began because my son races. And so it all began when I moved to Maryland and thought it was the worst thing that ever happened to me because I moved away from my family. So the only way to let them watch my son's journey and riding his dirt bike was by creating a Facebook page. And by doing that, I ended up just posting, stuff of him riding and us, our family. But I guess I was learning and didn't know what I was learning at the time, but he ended up getting a lot of exposure. And at 4 years old, he was invited to represent the United States at the New Zealand Mini Nationals under a team named MX Antics. And this lady owns Robin Watson. She owns a youth and amateur motocross magazine. So, it started with that, and then we ended up getting lots of sponsors and lots of exposure, and then people started coming to me, asking me all of the time how to help them, how to get sponsors. I was the go-to person, and which was kind of cool because everything that I possibly could do in motocross that you need to do for a kid was completely impossible. And I feel like I was always, my saying is there's got to be an easier way. And, we don't have technology because people didn't want things easier,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, there's got to be an easier way. And so I found those ways, and then I would help people, and it just kind of manifested into starting MXZen. I met a designer that followed Kyle. Kyle's got a lot of followers. He's got a very huge social media presence, Kyle Bourne 464. And so he followed Kyle, and he reached out to me one day, and we were going to do a project together. And the one little project to do a website for my son ended up into a company helping families in motocross. And the goal is to strengthen the sport of motocross and to really grow the sport and help people know where to start, how to what to do, and how to save money doing it because it's very, very expensive.
Well, Erika, you mentioned a little bit about your website, MXZen.com, and my goodness, when you go there, what an incredible website. And, can you talk a little bit about your vision for that website and when people go to visit it, what are they going to find and what type of resources are you offering to the community on that website?
Okay, and it's very interesting that you even bring up the website because again, when we first started, because I've been doing social media marketing from my home since I decided to stay home with my son when he was born, and so really we were just going to offer resumes and websites and help families, and so the website isn't even all that it doesn't present everything. It's gorgeous and it does show a lot, but it's not even everything that it's going to be, because from just trying to help people and just trying to get information to them, it blew up, and now we're launching a membership site in, I think in a week. We're almost done with that. Between a week or 2 weeks, we'll have a membership site where members who join MXZen can log in, and they'll have step-by-step guides on how to create their social media, how to link them to, the motocross sites that are, give them more exposure, how to have, I'm very passionate about the youth, so we're going to have step-by-step guides and videos on staying safe and the minors that are on social media. We've got shows. We're going to have sponsors come on and talk direct with the members so that they can learn, and get educated in this sport on what to do. So we've got a lot going on, but in a nutshell, I suppose they join MXN. They get, I found this platform to create our first motocross app, and we've been number one in motorcycle since we started. And so they go there, they can click on live timing and have live timing to any of the nationals. And what that means is usually every time Kyle's at a national, I have to hopefully pray that I have service at the track. And if I do, I've got to try to find the link, post it on my Facebook, try to tell my family where it's at. It's a catastrophe. But we've got it where now they just join the app for free. Click on live timing. They can see all the nationals, watch it on Racer TV. We've got marketing tips. We've got photos, and we've got rider profiles. When they're a member, they can create a rider profile that highlights them on one page. Sponsors can see that, and companies can come in and see those riders, and there's a button there they can push to contribute or sponsor that rider. And when they do that, they'll send me a message, and I'll say, oh, that's all on them. I give them the PayPal, and the parents get 100% of the contribution from that company. And at that point, we can put the logo and the name of the company and the link to their company right on that rider's profile. So it's really, really cool. And there's a lot of things we do in the app. But then, so they get that, and then they'll have the membership site that they'll have access to with lots of information and guides. And then we offer resumes, motocross resumes. Motocross websites. So like Kyle, we've got his website up now. It lists all their sponsors. It lists their social media, their accolades. You could even download his resume right from his website. It's like his own little personal CRM right there for, his little content management system for sponsors. They can get everything they want there. We're going to be doing crowdfunding and teaching them how to do that, which we're launching Kyle's next week as the learning process of how to do this, how to make it work. So these parents know that there is options instead of missing races, because Kyle had to miss Mini-O's and Daytona Supercross this year, and he won Mini-O's last year, but we couldn't make it. So I've researched to say there's got to be an easier way, and I have found it with a company that partnered with us named Dark Horse Pros, and they do crowdfunding for extreme sports athletes, and it's just beautiful. I mean, like everything's coming together where. It's really going to build the sport up, and it's bringing so many amazing people together, and the energy is changing already in the sport. And, we've got people at the track wearing MXN stuff or posting stuff and coming up and giving you a hug. And it's just beautiful. It's the way it's supposed to unfold, I suppose.
Sure. Well, I introduce you as, and if you just joined the show, we're speaking with Miss Erika Bourne, the CEO of MXN, and I called her the Chief Inspirational Officer because
thank you.
this type of platform did not exist before you came on the scene, did it?
No, not at all. Actually, nothing that I'm doing exists, but the funny thing is all the sponsors and companies that reach out to me about it say, this is what the sport needs. And I'm like, well, why hasn't it happened? Because I didn't even know anything about motocross until I met my husband. And now I'm like, making stuff happen. So, nothing like this at all is existing. We have a UK branch now. I've got ambassadors in UK and in New Zealand now, too.
Wow. Well, I want to talk a little bit about that as well, because one of the reasons that I call you the Chief Inspirational Officer is that you are touching some lives all across the country. Can you speak to that experience in, New Zealand? Recently, can you share with our listeners that story?
About when my son raced there?
Yes.
Yes.
And then I think you said something about helping out some families as well.
Yeah. So we got invited to race, and she said, because at first she saw Kyle was featured on Liat, and Liat is a neck brace that the riders wear to protect them. And because of what I was doing that I didn't know I was doing, but promoting him, Liat featured him on their page, and she sent me a message and said, oh, we want to do a story, a profile rider. Would you like to do that? I'm like, yeah, sure. So we did the profile, and then her and I stayed friends. And one day she was talking to me and said, how cool would it be for Kyle to race at our New Zealand Nationals? And I was like, that'd be awesome, but it's unrealistic. We have one income. I'm a stay-at-home mom. Like, my daughter's in a lot of sports. Not going to happen. She said, well, it's always available if you want. I'll make sure we sort you a bike, accommodations, everything, and you just get yourself here. So I looked up, the cost, and I'm like, whoa, I don't think so. And then I said, I don't know, I'll let you know, but I don't think so. She said, okay, it's open if you want it. And then I got done with my conversation with her, and I'm like, hold on a second. I'm Erika. I got to at least try. I got to at least try. So I ended up doing fundraisers. I mean, we had a GoFundMe. I washed cars and had like a sore back for 3 days. I walked around a track in 100-degree weather selling dollar tickets and raised $1,000 on a 50-50 raffle. Like, I did like 10 different fundraisers, which is so crazy because now we're going to do a campaign and it's going to be so much easier and funner, but I guess it's part of the journey. And I only had 2 months to try to get this like over $6,000 to get my family there. And that 2 months I raised $7,000. So we got there. It was literally the most amazing experience ever. It was very surreal. It was amazing. I mean, I cried when I had to leave. I did not want to leave. And, she said, anytime, I want you here every year. You could come. We'll take care of Kyle. And we made so many great friends and family over in New Zealand. And, so I got back and she asked me to start an MX Antics USA team. She's like, all the exposure that we've gotten from your fundraiser and Kyle getting here, like, it's just great. You want to start a team? And I said, sure. So I started a team and got a lot of support. I think when we launched, we had like 18 sponsors already. And, of course I wanted to go back, but, I ended up sending 3 families the next year. I helped them with their fundraising. I helped them with the promoting, got them out there, helped them with their passports and the, FIM paperwork and stuff. And 3 families, and they're like, my family now. They're like, I gave them an opportunity of a lifetime, and they thank me all the time, but I'm like, I got it, and I know what it felt like. I want other people to experience that. So, that was really, really cool. And just, and me and Robin she's my soul sister. I'll tell you, like, it's just beautiful that she's in my life. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. Deep down, what drives you? I mean, what gives you the passion to do this? Because you are just nonstop, 100% all chips in with this vision and this mission that you're on. What drives you, Erika, and what gives you this passion to do this?
I think, honestly, it's because I had people in my life when I was younger, that believed in me and they loved me, and I had, kind of an interesting upbringing that I didn't have everything, and I moved around a lot, and I've lived with people I didn't even know, and it was hard, but the fact that there was people that believed in me and made me feel good, I don't know, it was just something that I knew that if you do good for others, it really can bring out the best in them. And, you can, I guess people think you've got, based on statistics or whatever your destiny is supposed to be is going to be, but I don't believe in that because I could have definitely made different choices. But, I think that when people really inspire you and touch you, they can really shape your, your future. And, when I did MX Antics USA, it was almost like my answer to, and your answer as well as to why I'm doing this, because I used to, I had the team and I didn't want it to be just about the team or just about Kyle. So I started doing a featured rider every Tuesday night, and I would look online and find little riders that are new or, doing good and maybe not winning everything. And I'm like, they need to feel special too. So I started doing featured rider profiles, and we would put them in the magazine and lots of fun stuff. Well, I was at a track one day, and this kid just runs up and hugs me, and I don't even know what's going on because, I was watching Kyle on the track, and the kid looked up at me and said, thank you for making me feel special and put as a featured rider on MXN. And I was like, oh my God. Yes,
wow.
Exactly. So, and it is that because honestly, in the last 5 years that I've done this, I haven't made a dime and I still haven't. And I'm so eager to wake up. I don't even sleep right because I'm going to bed at like 2 and I'm getting up at 6 and I just want to do it. So, a lot of people in this world, it's, money. And hell, I want to make money, trust me, but I haven't made anything, and I'm so excited every morning to get up and help these people and to make these kids feel special and to strengthen the sport, especially because, like I said, I never knew anything about motocross, and my daughter's on a lacrosse scholarship in Georgia, and she's done basketball, track, everything, and there is no sport like motocross. There's no sport that's a family-oriented sport like motocross at all. And so it needs to be strengthened, and it needs to be preached. I'll be the preacher.
Yes, well, you're the Chief Inspirational Officer. Well, Erika, we are fast running out of time for this segment, but let me ask you this. Give us an idea of what's on tap for the future of mxzen.com. Tell us some of the things that are coming around the bend for our listening audience.
Well, there's a lot. We are going to launch Kyle's crowdfunding campaign next week for his Road to Loretta's, and we've got a lot of sponsors involved, and we're trying to get some pro motocross racers involved to be a part of this. And we have the membership site launching, which is awesome. Oh, and I'm going to be launching my own homeschool program. I'm going to launch ZenU, so that should be ready here soon. I already got the school, the LMS, the learning management system approved. I got the school approved. I got me approved to teach kids, which is quite funny. But yeah, we're going to have our own. It's going to be maybe motocross related. Not maybe. It's going to have a lot of extreme sports. Like people are questioning, is anybody that really travels and is deep into a sport that gets in trouble with these public schools all the time with their absences? So we've got great people on board for that, and instructors and people that have written up alternative choices for to public schooling. So we're launching ZenU, the membership site, the crowdfunding campaign, and I don't know. There's a lot of stuff like. That's kind of how I miss my appointments a lot, because I have a lot. Every time I say I'm not going to do anything else until one's done, more stuff manifests. But it's right. It's supposed to happen. So we've got a lot of great things happening.
Well, how can people stay in contact with you? I know the website is mxzen.com. What about the social media? How can people stay in contact and communicate with you guys?
Well, I'm on Facebook at Erika Bourne 464. I think when you just look it up, Erika Bourne, it's there, but the address is 464. And then they can email me at erika@mxzen.com. And I'm on all the social media, on Instagram and Twitter and all of that, out there, Erika Bourne. And we have MXzen social media, and then Kyle Bourne 464. His is the big one that we get a lot of people that really love him and follow him and support him. So we're on that page a lot. And then the website, and then we'll have the link to our membership site once that goes live, and I think people will really be excited to see that, because even people who aren't in motocross can totally learn so much in this membership site on safety and education and social media and how to set them up and how to get sponsors. And I mean, even kids going to college, I had to kind of think of that as well, since my daughter's in college, and how to highlight yourself and do it where, these people recognize it and brand yourself, because we all have a brand. That's the honest truth. We all have a brand. It's not about what place you get or what your grades are. It's your character. It's your spirit.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Well, we are out of time for this segment of the show. Erika, would you be willing to come back in the future? Love to have you back.
Every day. Every day.
I love it. Exactly. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been our interview with Erika Bourne, the Chief Executive Officer of mxzen.com is where you want to go there. Erika, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here today. There you have it, folks, for this edition of the show, and we'll see you the next time on the show.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.